So I'm on my way home to record the podcast, and my dad is sitting downstairs with his girlfriend, which is where I record the podcast. They're sitting down there watching TV, and I'm like, hey, like, you're going to have to clear the layer, okay? Because I need to record. All right. You're going to have to clear the layer. I told my dad, I texted him, I was like, hey, this sucks, but I know she just had posted 10 minutes before on her Facebook page saying that she just had a friend betray her. But you're going to have to tell your girlfriend of 4 years, hey, you got to get the hell out of here. I'm sorry about the betrayal in your friendship, the massive friendship betrayal that you're undergoing right now. But you got to go. My son has to record his podcast. Let's start the show. Welcome to Pat on the Back. I'm your host, Pat O'Connor, and out of the gate, I've got to apologize. Last week's episode, I said that Mia Khalifa, the famed porn star turned sports journalist, was dating Mr. Bean, Rowan Atkinson, because I saw a single post on Facebook that told me that that was true. And I did zero fact checking on a follow-up for that. Sue me. Okay, I'm sorry. I like to have a little fun in my life. I was wrong. I was very confidently wrong when I said it, which is on me. But who am I to decide that that couldn't possibly be true? That it strictly isn't doable for a funny man with a great personality to be in a relationship with an attractive young woman who's probably half his age. What's so wrong with that? What's wrong with believing a little bit in my life and having a good time and thinking that my personality may one day translate to dating some, I don't know, an NFL cheerleader? Why is that so absurd? And who am I to fact check anything? I don't get paid for that. That's not my job. I don't do research on things that I think are good enough to take on just a fact and trust that the system isn't lying to me, even though it does all the time. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with believing that the world is being honest, especially on the internet. I believe everything on the internet. I have no reason not to. So fuck it. Yeah, I saw one single post of a blurry, grainy picture of what I was convinced was Mia Khalifa, which was just a tan blob, and Rowan Atkinson, which was a pale blob wearing a opened up Hawaiian shirt on a boat. And I went, that seems pretty legit to me. I'm going to run with that, and I'm going to tell other people. I'll be honest with you. I told people immediately. I didn't show them the post. I just looked at my phone and went, that's crazy. Put my phone down and went, hey, did you know that the silly British guy from Rat Race who fell asleep all the time in that movie is dating one of the most popular porn stars that we've seen in our time? Now, she's not for me. I did not enjoy her film career. Just didn't do it for me. But nonetheless, she was very popular while I was deployed, and there were many other soldiers who very much enjoyed her work. And I'm sure she has changed a million hearts and lives by transitioning from the adult film industry into sports analysis. I don't know what she brings to the table, but I know that is the route she's moving into, which is funny to me because you know who else is doing that? Isabella Danger, who is apparently a massive Miami fan of the Miami Hurricanes. That's the school she goes to. I didn't know that until this college football playoff when we got to see her crying very hard, very hard when Miami lost. Turns out she's a diehard fan, which is cool. We do like that. But now she is trying to become a sports agent, which I think is a tough sell, if I'm being honest. I think it's going to be tough for people to take you seriously. Also, you're dealing with professional athletes. These are alpha male type of people where not a lot of people say no to them. And then you're going to be an agent where they can look up this. I mean, I'm an Abella Danger fan. She's done some unscrupulous things on the internet, and I've watched them all. And it would be hard for me to have her as an agent and not kind of make it a thing. Now, maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm short sighted and maybe I'm not as open to it. She seems like she's got a great personality, and I'm sure she's an intelligent individual who's ready to do business, and she'll probably do a good job. But that short 2 to 3 years at least are going to be tough. She's going to be surrounded by professional athletes. She's going to be in close quarters with them, working tightly with them, and they can look up. And her managing that is going to be hard. But I believe in her. Which is like, what makes it so wrong for me to think that a great guy could be with another past adult film star? We don't know how paths are going to cross. We don't know how this person's going to meet this person and those worlds will collide and magic will happen. But it did. So fuck it. Seems pretty cool to me if I'm being honest to God, it does seem now that I don't know why I said that like I was giving the Gettysburg Address. It is kind of fucking sick to have thought that that was real. But also like I'm not going to double check. You know what I mean? Like, where's the fun in that? Where's the mystery in that? Where's the belief in that? No one gives a fuck about that. Let's have a fucking good time and think that one of the funnier people of the 1991s or whenever, that time that I wasn't a big Mr. Bean guy, but he did some stuff. Why can't his personality shine through? And girls are always saying that personality should matter more. And in the words of Lil Dicky, getting pussy with my personality. So why wouldn't I think that Rowan Atkinson could do it? He seems like a great dude. Seems like a fun, silly little guy. And Mia Khalifa obviously doesn't care what people look like because she's had it all. Why wouldn't she go after someone she just enjoys spending time with? And there's nothing wrong with believing that that's the case. So yes, I'm very sorry that I was extremely, incredibly overconfident in that information. That was probably wrong of me to do that. But fuck it, whatever. You know what I mean? Shit happens. I was wrong, and I'm sorry. It did make me reflect on a couple other things that I have been extremely confident about, but was also extremely wrong about. Like this past football season. I should say, before the football season even started. A little movie came out, which is now an Oscar-nominated film, called Sinners, where Michael B. Jordan plays himself and a duplicate of himself and begins a relationship with a young Haley Steinfeld. Now, as a Buffalo Bills fan, I boycotted this movie. I still haven't seen it. Completely boycotted this movie. Didn't want to watch it, all because at one point or another, Actually, I think it's just once, but you know what I mean. Haley Steinfeld spits in Michael B. Jordan's mouth, and I was like, "That's fucked up," because I love Josh Allen way more than I like Haley Steinfeld, and I'm gonna ride or die for my guy. So I went, "You know what? I'm not gonna watch this movie. I think it's a bunch of bullshit, and we gotta put up with this, and we shouldn't have to." As a Bills fan, the movie's probably good. I still haven't seen it. I'll be honest with you, I'm gonna watch it probably sometime this weekend because what I believed was that if I don't watch this movie, it'll help Josh Allen win the Super Bowl. And it didn't work. Um, Clearly did not work. Maybe couldn't have worked less because we lost in the divisional round again, but it did give us the power to beat the Ravens and the Chiefs, so that was cool. But we still didn't make it to the Super Bowl, let alone win. And I gotta tell you, I was uber confident that this was going to work. I was like, there was no doubt in my mind that I was like, this is just one of those things that the universe is gonna reward us for. It's gonna reward me for, all the other Buffalo Bills fans. I'm not gonna watch a movie that frankly seems pretty cool when you're talking about vampires and Tommy guns and jack dudes in, I think, the 40s. I don't know when the movie takes place, but it seems fucking sick. And I went, no, I'm not going to watch it. Not going to see the story of Smoke and Stack, two twin brothers played by the same guy. Because there's one scene that I think I would find upset. I find it upsetting thinking about it. I was like, the betrayal is, that bitch. Bitch spit in Michael B's mouth. Oh, fucking. It almost made me dislike Michael Jordan. Not Michael B. Jordan, Michael Jordan, the Chicago Bulls player. He's one of my favorite athletes of all time. Almost made me dislike him. And so I got a cop to that one too. I was wrong. I was 100% wrong. Thought that was, thought both those things were true. Thought they were both work out. But alas, here we are in dumbass fucking Artardville where I don't know what I'm talking about. Which, if we're being honest, we're what, 38 episodes in? Is it really that surprising that I don't know what the fuck is going on? I don't think it is. I think it seems pretty on par with some of the shit that I've said, especially when you look at how the show started. If you've been with us since episode 1 to now, it's not even close. And I've said some dumb and incorrect things in my time. And if you happen to remember any of them, go ahead and leave a comment because I'm curious. I like to own my mistakes. At least the ones that I can tolerate. If you give me something that makes me seem like dumb and kind of feel bad about myself, I probably won't bring that back up because I want to hide in shame. But, outside of that, like, go fucking nuts. I think that was, people should admit when they're wrong. Just depends on what it is and when. I don't think that's that crazy. But who am I? So this past weekend was Valentine's Day. Personally, not a big Valentine's Day guy, but that's mostly because I usually find myself being single on Valentine's Day. I don't really have a reason to like fucking celebrate or anything. I've got nothing going on. So what does it matter? You know? So, this year I was like, oh, I usually have this plan, frankly, where I'm like, I'm gonna go just to the gym late later on. Like, say the gym closes at 10, I'm gonna get there at 8. Okay? This is the theory, which has never accumulated to anything for me, but it is the working theory. I like to go to the gym late at night on Valentine's Day. So that way, the theory is any girl who's there is probably single. Otherwise, why the fuck are you here? You should be out to dinner. But maybe you're like me and you're like, so now we have common ground with the gym. We've got common ground with we're probably single. We have common ground with we're here right now at the same place. And probably maybe one or two other things where we have common ground, like we're wearing sneakers, most likely. Sometimes people will work out without sneakers on, but you know what I mean? Like shit lines up. So I did that this year. The problem is on Saturdays, the gym I go to closes at like 7. Not that late for a Valentine's Day or Saturday. Pretty fucking early, I would say. Last year was on a Friday. I got to the gym at 7, worked out till 9. This year, got there at 5, worked out till 7. You can still go to fucking dinner after 7, you know? Like, it can still work out in your favor a little bit. So, not the best night for me. I mean, I went and I had a whatever leg day, and obviously there were a couple cute girls there, but there's no guarantees. And, as the nights you go, "Oh, I'm gonna push this until as late as I can. I'm not gonna start talking to someone at 5 because 'cause they're still gonna go to dinner in a little bit." Maybe they work Saturdays. I don't fucking know. So you wait to see who's there at like 6:30, 6:45. But then it starts to clear out. So not a lot of luck. Not a lot of luck. So I go, "You know what? I'm gonna head out, gonna go home, get cleaned up. My buddy is working the door at a bar. He's gonna let me in. I'm gonna hang out, and I'm gonna watch fucking the Olympics and drink a couple beers. Why not? Why not hunker down on a bar stool, sip a couple brews, and watch Poland take on Germany in women's curling? Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. That was a good plan. When I was on my way there, it takes me about a half an hour to get there. You know, and he texted me and he's like, it's pretty fucking dead right now. And I was like, even better. That means he won't be working long. I don't have to deal with other people. We can turn the volume up on this shit and we could cheer for US fucking A, buddy. That'll be fucking sick. So I drive the half hour to get there. And I pull in, the parking lot's fucking packed. And I was like, yo, when the fuck did this happen? Where the fuck did all these people come from? You just told me it was empty. Now this bitch is fucking full as shit. This is ridiculous. It genuinely, it bothered me because I was like, yeah, I was gonna watch some fucking sick ass sports. Not a lot of them are that sick, but you know what I mean? Like what the fuck do I got going on? Maybe some girls my age will wander in at some point later in the night and I could talk to them, just chat them up. Nothing crazy, nothing going on. I got no plans. So I walk into the bar. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this, dude? There's live music going, fucking 100 people packing this bitch out. I'm like, what the hell? I thought I was going to be fucking watching the game, like with the boy, and like I could still sit on the bar stool. We could just fucking chat with each other and he could still watch the door from there. You know what I mean? Sip a couple Miller Lights and have a good time. But instead, I'm just sitting here, standing in the back up against the wall, just watching fucking the sports I can't care about because a bunch of fucking 50 and 60-year-olds want to come dance at the pub on Valentine's Day. Fucking get fucked. Screwed me over. I didn't even care about the Olympics till the night before, frankly. The night before on Friday night, we record Rudy Tuesday, have a great time, just the boys, a real throwback episode where it's just me, Breck, and Rudy, and we're hanging out. And then we go down the street to the bar like we always do to hit the open mic that they're doing on Friday nights. It's a late open mic. A lot of people go to the show, and then a lot of comedians who didn't get to work on a show will come to the open mic after those shows are over. Everyone gets to show a little face, and then everyone still gets to perform on a Friday night. Us, we get to do the podcast, and then we get to go drink and hang out with some friends. And we, since we're out, we get the chance to tell jokes. We might tell some jokes. But we got in there, and we're watching Canada take on USA in women's curling. I've never been more just knee deep into a sport in my life. When we showed up to the bar, I'll be frank, I had already had 2 beers. 3 beers. So I wasn't hammered, wasn't really affected in any way in driving, but I was a little looser. You know what I mean? I was a little looser. And we're watching USA on silent just fucking crush Canada. I don't know what the final score was. I know this shit was exhilarating. I had a great time. Me and the boys hanging out, cheering on our fucking home country. Hell yeah. Fucking rock 'em, sock 'em. I don't know how the scoring in curling works. Not for a fucking second. It looks like big darts to me. Get close to the dartboard, and you can just, the only added element is you can knock other people away. I think that translates to a different sport as well. I don't know what that fucking sport is. Something that you play on like a fucking cruise ship or an old folks home or something. Shuffleboard, is that kind of similar to shuffleboard? Who gives a fuck? Point is, we were drinking at a bar we love and we were rooting on the USA. And it was a good time. It was actually kind of exciting. Because it was a little back and forth. And we were like, every shot, we are like, this shit is crazy. I mean, curling is a wild sport to begin with. I don't know how it works. We didn't get much volume on it until later in the night when the bartender just unmuted the TV and there's just yelling going on. Didn't know yelling was involved. I think that they were giving directions. I think the person fucking throws the stone, just does one of the fucking. I think that person is yelling like left and right. So the two fucking stickers are down there, like trying to shuffle this thing along. A lot of like fucking just perfectly straight, just bam, straight down a fucking funnel. Perfect shots. It was absolutely exhilarating. I was like, you know what? That was fun last night. I don't have any plans tonight on Saturday, Valentine's Day. I'm going to go back out. I'm going to have 2, maybe 3 drinks, and I'm going to have a good time watching some more Olympic sports, rooting for my home country. Now, I get there, the bar's full, and honest to God, the only thought I had was, you gotta get the fuck out of my way, clear the bar top. Daddy's gotta drink a couple brews and watch some downhill skiing. Like, you're fucking this up for me right now. All you guys are out on dates. You've already gone to your dinner. You've done this for fucking 25 years at least. Been doing your fucking Valentine's Day bullshit. And I'm happy for you. I am. I think that's great. I think we should all aspire to have some of those long-term relationships in our lives. But the bar at 10 o'clock on a Saturday night, Valentine's Day, is for single people. So get fucked and leave. I need to yell at the TV about a sport I know nothing about. Okay? I need to drink my beer and hope and pray that a young lady will have some drinks as well and be just as passionate about the USA being number one as I am. Now, I'm not usually a pep rally guy, and I'm never going to get into a USA chant. It's just not my style. They tried to do a pep rally like at fucking work the other day and do the USA chant, and I was not about it. It's just not for me. You know, when they walk out and they're like, because I work on submarines, they're like, we heard we got a bunch of fucking killers out there. And everyone's like, I'm not going to do that. That's not for me. That makes me feel really stupid and corny. And I'm here for a fucking paycheck, not to do a fucking pep rally. Okay. Frankly, I can be bought, not by another country. I'm not going to trade secrets. And honestly, I don't think I know enough information to really be able to give anything away. I'm really, really just centered on my own job. And I think it'd show if you had like one conversation with me. I don't even know how to start to explain some of the things that I have to explain. And I have like a blue collar background. I'd still be like, I don't know. And that's mostly because I'm not an electrician on the outside. They taught me how to be an electrician specifically for this job. So I can't really translate any of that shit. But anyway, this is when me and my drunk buddies and some drunk girls get together and share in our solitude and become one group to root for our home country. Frankly, if we were rooting for women's curling, we would have been rooting against the Japanese, which seems unscrupulous to say, but also accurate. You know what I mean? Like, we can do the whole my country versus, like, fuck, we can say, like, Japan sucks when we're talking about the Olympics, right? Like, if we're cheering on for our country, we can do that, right? And I'll be honest, I'm saying Japan sucks now. They did some pretty sick I saw them curve. I don't know what the boulders are in fucking curling. I saw they curved one. They shot it around another and like fucking knocked one out. Pretty cool, if I'm being honest. I thought it was fucking really sick. But that stuff is that's when we're supposed to hang out. You know, that's when that environment is not for couples. It's not for people who have already gone out to dinner. If you've gone out to dinner, for one, don't eat pasta on Valentine's Day. Don't eat something light. Go home, have some fun in bed. Have some fun in the kitchen or the living room. Fucking go nuts. Rent a hotel room. If you got kids, take a little staycation for the night. But go home and get your clothes off and get freaky, okay? When we're talking late night at the bar, that's when the singles should be there. And frankly, look, I may have chosen the wrong bar, but at the very least, I chose an option where maybe I wasn't going to meet a girl, but at least I was going to have a good time. I know the bartenders. I used to work there. I know the bartenders. I know the door guys. I know the fucking the regulars that are kind of come and hang out. So this is where I want to go. At the very least, I'm going to have a good time. And that shouldn't be shamed. But when people show up and they're killing the opportunity, like when a young group of girls or fellas or when a hot young group of boys of legal age walk into this bar and they look around and they go, a lot of older women in this bar, they're going to turn around and leave, which means they're not going to invite their hot young girl, female friends of legal age. So you're ruining it for all of us. If you're not single, you're in a relationship, if you have a date, go to dinner, go have sex. Fuck off. If you're single and you're going out for Valentine's Day, hoping to meet someone or just have a good time, you should be the ones at the bar. We should be the ones at the bar. I like doing that shit. I like going and having a couple drinks. Talk. It doesn't have to lead to anything. I like talking to people at the bar. Amounts to nothing. But priority one is having a good time. And I don't like when old people fucking ruin it. Okay, sue me. My bad. So I want to move on to things that I'm not buying. Now, I do this segment every week. It's one of my favorite segments, which really it is just for me to organize a way for me to complain about something. Sometimes it's sports related. Sometimes it's not. This week, I think I'm all out. I'm not buying the Netherlands. Not as a country per se, just as like the shit that they do. Like, I looked this up. Did you know that the Netherlands is considered to be one of the most affordable places to live? Like top 4 or something like that, with a certain level of, or like the number 5th best place to live. I don't remember exactly what it was. I didn't write that part down. What I did write down is that it takes about 70,000 euros and you can have a comfortable life for a single person. Now, I translated that to real money or US currency for the layman. And that amounts to about $83,000, which is a lot of fucking money. Okay, $83,000 for a single person to live relatively comfortably. Not a lot of money if you're a millionaire. It is a lot of money if you're a regular fucking guy like me. You know what I mean? And also, their primary form of personal transportation is a bicycle. They have public transportation. I don't know what that looks like because I got really hung up on this bicycle aspect because it changes the gauge that we evaluate everything on. In America, a, a short trip, 20 minutes, 20-minute ride. You're going like what, 10 miles maybe? I don't know what that equates to. We'll say 10 miles in 20 minutes. What the fuck is a short trip if you're taking a fucking bicycle? Like 4 miles? 4 miles, it's still gonna take me a fucking 40 minutes. And now I'm gonna be sweaty as shit. For me, I currently have the best paying job I've ever had. And it takes me an hour to get there in a car. And I don't make 70,000 euros a year. So to have the best paying job I've ever had and commute an hour by car to not make enough money to live comfortably in the Netherlands, if that translated to here, you would be asking me to ride a bicycle to work, and it would take 3 hours, something like that, to not make enough money to live comfortably. I should be homeless. I should be homeless. That's fucking ridiculous. What if you just need to go to the fucking store? Like, and, I forgot almond milk or whatever they drink in the Netherlands. You have to ride your bike 20 minutes to go 3 minutes down the road to get a fucking gallon of milk. How do you bring it back? How do you grocery shop if you don't have a card? You have to fucking order everything online. What if you get drunk at the bar? Do you still get like, I know people in America will get stopped for operating a vehicle while intoxicated or riding under the influence on a fucking bike because they got fucked up on a Friday and tried to get home. And you're telling me there's no other choice now? You can't call a fucking Dutch Uber Black? There's no Deutschland Lyft for you to fucking hop into and get you home safe? What the fuck is that? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Fucking riding bike to get everywhere. Are you kidding me? It makes absolutely no sense at all. It completely recontextualizes, which is a big word for me, what we evaluate to be a long trip versus a short trip. What we evaluate to be a convenient job versus an inconvenient job. And that's not even, that's just talking about fucking daily, regular life. What if you, I didn't even think about this till just now. What if you gotta take your fucking kid to the hospital? What if you gotta go to the hospital? Is the ambulance gonna come up and it's just gonna be a fucking cart with 2 peddlers? That's ridiculous. A fucking bike and buggy to get you to the emergency room? You bleed out. You don't stand a chance like that. That's dumb as hell. Like, I don't know if guns are legal there, but I would imagine they have gangs of some kind. And if they have guns, how do you do a drive-by? How do you do a drive-by if you don't have a fucking car? Bring, bring. What are you talking about? Like, god damn. And that's not even talking about navigating a relationship now. What are you gonna go out with a beautiful young lady and pick her up on your fucking bike, and she's gonna ride in your handlebars all the way to the Jean Valjean restaurant or whatever fancy stuff they have going on in that environment? I don't know what they eat over there, but I'm sure they have some fancy restaurants of some kind, even relatively close to the smaller towns, which still utilize bikes. So, what's a long distance relationship? Fucking 6 blocks? You're telling me I move 8 miles down the road and I'm gonna have to break up? We're still in the same fucking school district, but it's too far to see each other on the weekend. What if you have to break up? From both angles. Think of it like this. If I had to ride my bike to break up with someone and I had to ride 8 miles to, let's be a little more conservative. Let's say I had to ride 6 miles to get there. Just a regular distance, 6 miles. When I was in the Army, I ran 6 miles in an hour. I'll tell you this, if I have to ride my bicycle 6 miles, there's 0% chance I show up and I'm not sweaty. I'm going to soak a fucking t-shirt on my way, which means I have to walk in to whatever environment and go, "Hey, excuse me, do you mind if I go and change my shirt really quick? You're going to want me dry for this conversation. We really have something we need to talk about, and you don't want me looking and smelling the way I currently look and smell." That's a problem, okay? Imagine it from the flip side. Say, oh, it's the worst possible situation. You go over someone's house, and while you're there, they break up with you. Maybe they don't have a bicycle. They couldn't get to you. You're the one, you do most of the commuting. That's not that crazy. You go to them, they break up with you. And now you have to ride your bicycle 6 miles home? What if it started raining? Now you have to get broken up with, ride your bicycle in the rain for 6 miles, and you're still heartbroken? I'll be honest. If I did, now that I'm saying it out loud, and I'm really thinking about it, by the time I got home, I would almost definitely be over the breakup. If I just got fucking downpoured on a long bike ride. 6 miles is, for me, it's a long bike ride. Maybe I'm wrong, but I might be over the breakup after that. They may have cracked the code on that front. I may be wrong, but whatever. Sue me for making a mistake. But it's crazy. That's a horrible situation to have to break up with someone via bicycle. God awful. And also, do they have like trailers if you have a companion? Can you only ride as a couple, like, and take her out to dinner? Or do you always have to meet? You know what I mean? Can never really go together. Does she have to take her own bike? What if you want to pick her up? That's a pretty popular thing in America. When I go out on a date, I prefer to pick the girl up. I feel like it's gentlemanly. It gives us a little time to communicate a little bit before we start shoveling tacos down our face. Let go a little bit. I will always meet someone if they would rather be met, but I'm not above picking somebody up. I'm a gentleman. I'll get out. I'll open the car door. What are you supposed to do? Fucking ring the bell for her? But like, cling, cling, hop on. Like, is she supposed to wear a dress and ride a bicycle? Are you supposed to get a tandem bike exclusively for dating and just being in a relationship? Like, what about when you get too old? Or if you have, you fucking, what is it called when you lose your balance? You don't have your equilibrium or whatever. Your inner ear bullshit's all fucked up. And then you just can't go anywhere anymore? You gotta walk everywhere? Or you gotta hop on the back of the tandem bike and hope you don't wipe out the person riding, taking lead on that bitch. Hopefully you can still pedal. That's another thing. What if you only have one fucking leg? I've never seen anyone ride a bike with one leg. What if you have a peg leg? What, do you stick it into the fucking thing? It's ridiculous. What if there's a shooting and you need to escape? You're gonna escape on a bicycle from a shooting? I'd rather be in a car. There's almost no situation you could come up with where a car wouldn't be better than a fucking bicycle. But for whatever reason, the Netherlands are all about that two-wheel power motion, just left, right, getting down the fucking cobblestone dirt road or whatever the fuck they have going on. I assume they haven't developed that far if their primary form of personal transportation is a fucking bicycle. But we haven't even spoken about just basic other logistical things. For one, do they have a regular driving lane or is it all like bike lane type shit? Two, does that bike lane type shit still adhere to the rules of the road? Three, if a train on the bike breaks, do you just shut down the bike lane? If you blocked it all, do people still go around? What about the traffic coming the other way? I'm assuming the trails are a little more narrow because what do you need it to be as wide as a car for? You don't really. I guess you need a public. It's just too many loopholes. What about cops? Do cops have cars? Do cops have cars so that they can arrest people and still put them in the back seat? But then I am assuming they also must have a bike rack so they can fucking hook your bike up. They're not just going to leave your cycle there on the fucking side of the road and take you away. And what, you're really going to call somebody, hey, can you come tow this bicycle out of here? Now you're a fucking fool strapping a perp's bicycle to the back of your, I don't know what they drive over there. I assume a Toyota fucking Corolla for their police pursuit vehicle. You don't have to go very fast. You know what I mean? They might use some of those fucking, you remember the Power Wheels from when you were a kid? You know, it just runs off a fucking car battery. There's no motor or anything. They're made completely out of plastic. I assume they're driving like that. Or those little fucking carts that you power with your feet, like Fred Flintstone style, where it's red on the bottom and yellow on the top. Is that their cop cars? Because if they're rocking bicycles every which way but loose, I can't imagine that they're just fucking blowing our minds with how advanced the rest of their transportation systems are. There's just no fucking way. Also, do people get jealous of these different, is there like subcultures? You know how there's car clubs and shit where they're like, well, we like muscle cars. And other people are like, well, we like drag cars. Do they do that with bikes where they're like, well, this is the Huffy collaborative, and then over there we got, I don't know enough about bikes, but Spalding, if they make bikes, I don't fucking know. Is there like a carbon fiber gang? You know, the carbon fiber cruisers that fucking just ride along beach fronts if they have those and fucking kick sand at fucking stunt bike riders. I don't understand the culture is the problem. And I also don't know if I'll ever be able to afford to go to the Netherlands to figure out the culture. But what I do know is that just based on one fact, I see a lot of flaws and I'm out. I'm out on the Netherlands and their whole bicycle first bullshit. And I don't think I could be convinced otherwise. Truly, I don't. Like, do they have traffic? If someone fucking crashes their bike into another bike, if there's a drunk rider who has a head-on collision on fucking Tuesday morning on their way to work, does that just bog everything down or do they fucking go around? Like, there's got to be traffic. There's no way just having bicycles just goes, oh, we don't have traffic. No, it's actually a perfect society cultivated on loving each other and, saving the environment. You have to fucking either DoorDash or fucking Uber Eats all of your food or whatever, the one where they deliver the groceries for you. Like, I'm out on it. I'm completely out on it. It's so ridiculous. I can't say it enough. Can't say it enough. It's dumb as fuck. But that's the show today, guys. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed the show, go listen to Rudy Tuesday that comes out every Tuesday. It's hosted by me and fellow comedians Breck Michael and Rudy Marinosi. New episodes every Tuesday at 7 everywhere you get podcasts. We are on every Friday at 7. New episodes of Pat on the Back. We're going to be a little less football, a little more personality forward during this off season because, fuck it. I want to get to know you. You want to get to know me. I'm probably not going to get to know you guys that much because it's pretty one way algorithm here, but you guys are fantastic. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Love you guys.